Good morning, Dee Dee. Good morning. Good morning, Sherry. I was just trying to get my message typed out there, so I wasn't even paying attention to the chat. I just knocked over my pencil sharpener and made a mess. How is everybody? I had to get that mess cleaned up. Ah. Okay. Let's see. Let me check my camera. Yeah, it looks okay for now. Turn it just a little bit more, maybe like that. Overdid it as in like out in the sun with your campfire? Oh, okay. So Sherry, have you not started on the candles yet? You're going to finish your violin page? Too much coloring. Okay. I did a little bit of coloring yesterday, although it doesn't look like it. I got distracted. I'll show you what I got distracted with. We'll look at that right quick first. So we'll just slide this over here like this. And this is what I colored on yesterday. That page had caught my attention the first time when we did when we did a flip through this book. And I was telling Sherry that that violin had caught my attention because when I lived in Hawaii, I owned a purple violin. I had to leave it there when I came back here. So when I saw that page, I knew I was going to want to color that violin at least. The entire page looks too complicated, but all right. That's probably all I'm going to do on that page. Now, later on, maybe as I kind of figure out more things, because this has a lot of motion in it. So as my skills improve, then I can add to this over here if I want to. But I did want to do that violin. Now let me see. I got to move my camera just a little bit. I'm trying to kind of get it lined up with the light. See, it looks like it's darker. The closer it gets to me, the darker it gets, the page itself with the lighting. That doesn't look too bad. I changed the lighting just a little bit. All right, so I'm just going to leave the camera sit. Maybe we can zoom in just a little bit more, something like that. I'm going to be doing flames today, or at least I'm going to start with the flame and see how it goes. Okay, so I already got some of my colors picked out because doing the violin, I had to get some greens and some browns, some yellows and oranges, so I don't have to spend so much time today trying to swatch pencils and figure out what colors. So I have my colors for the flames already. Actually, I'm just going to set these aside. I don't need those up here now. I'll just take the highlight color over the entire picture. We don't really have to cover the entire picture, but I generally like to with the highlight color. That way you don't end up with white showing through. You'll end up with a highlight color, if anything. Oh, well, you don't have to color the same part I'm coloring. You color it in whatever order you want to. I'm just doing the flames. Oh, one thing I forgot to do, I forgot to turn my TV on. I always try to run a little video on my TV just so there's background noise for me. Otherwise, it's too quiet while I'm sitting here. Now, I don't know how these flames will turn out until after I get the first one done, decide on what I like. That's not too bad. Thank you, Sherry. I think that'll work. Man, if I keep, sorry, I got to change my camera. I just hit my head on it and it tells me to change the orientation. I really don't like the way these cameras have to be directly over the work, but oh, let's see. Yeah, I think I'll stick with the same technique for this one. That seemed to work pretty good, putting the highlight color down first. All right, hang on a second, guys. I got to turn my air conditioner on. I had my fan turned on, but that just wasn't getting it. Yeah, there's a bunch of those lily pads on that page. Now, I don't know how long it'll take for that heart medication that I got started on to really start kicking in, but maybe not too long. I would say that's probably a pretty close guess, Sherry. I know there's a lot of them. Yeah, there's enough of those there's enough of those lily pads laying on the surface of the water that once you get them all covered, there's not much water left. All right, let's see. That's what I'm figuring. Probably about 3 days, something like that. Uh, One other thing I was glad I went to the doctor about. I wear a sweatband on my arm. I don't know if you guys have noticed it on camera before or not, but when I reach across the camera view. But anyway, I wear this thing on my arm. There's a wound on my arm that's been here for several years. It won't heal. So I asked the doctor to look at it. And she said, okay, show it to me. So I took the bandage off of it. And the first thing, she just looks at it, she says, that's cancer. But they're going to be able to remove it, so that's a good thing. But I don't know why this stuff wasn't addressed when I was in Hawaii, because in Hawaii, they told me there's nothing they can do about it. And this doctor took one look at it and said, oh, we'll just get it removed. It's kind of funny because when I went to my doctor, there's things I didn't even talk to her about. I forgot to mention. The bad thing is, I have to go out of state to see any kind of specialist doctor. And as my colors get lighter, so does my pressure. It's kind of like ironic because I live in the county seat and we don't even have a hospital in our town. We have to go to a neighboring town if you need a hospital. And we're in the biggest town or city, whatever you want to call it, in the county. Actually, I am currently living in the biggest town or city, which I can't call it a city. This is a dump compared to a city, but I don't know if they consider it a city or not. But anyway, it's the largest around, the largest population around, and you pretty much have to go somewhere else if you want anything. We're lucky we have a grocery store and a Walmart. And in fact, the Walmart is not actually inside the corporation limits or the city limits. It's actually in the next town because their town limits butt up. They border the town I live in. So that's funny. We don't even have a Walmart. The neighboring town has the Walmart. Oh, well, we used to have a hospital here, but for whatever reason, they closed it down and turned it into an apartment building. And I actually did quite a bit of construction work on that hospital. Now, every time I start coloring on camera, I have to get used to it again because when I'm coloring off camera, I only color for a few minutes at a time. So I don't have to put this brace on. I always have to get used to coloring with it on because it feels so different. My maneuverability is quite limited. Oh, wow. Took the hospital down and put up a splash park. Wow. No, I was just thinking maybe I should keep me a journal kind of thing. Not for journaling, but just for like recording the colors, like whatever colors I use for a combination in a blend, so I can keep track of it and know what I want to use next time. But I don't do that. And then I'm like, well, what color should I use? All right, there's some flames. Now I'm going to use my blending pencil. Yeah, I agree, Sherry. That's a good idea. It's something I won't end up doing, but it's a good idea. Now I'm just going to use a blending pencil. I wanted to sharpen it because I had used it on the other picture. I didn't want to be transferring any color. Now I notice sometimes it seems like when I'm using a blender, if I go over these black lines, not so much, I'm not noticing it so much now, but I have noticed it like on other pages, other pictures, that the black line will streak a little bit. It just, I guess it just grabs a hold of that little bit of ink on the surface of the paper. There is a reason why I don't say what color I'm using on camera, because I don't want other people following my color choices. Because if they're not good choices, people are going to mess up their own pictures. I don't want that. That looks pretty good. Not too bad. So I'll tell you what colors I use for these flames. It takes a bit to figure out which order they're supposed to be in too. So I used pumpkin orange, bright orange yellow, light orange yellow, and then my canary yellow. All right, now let's see here. Yes, these actually worked out pretty good. Well, now see, that's how that's how I have it. I mean, let's zoom back out here for a second. You guys can see what I have. Oh, I need a better camera system. You can see there's the pencils I just used. They're going to sit right there until whenever I use them again. And then I have my other pencils sitting out here. You can see my greens, my browns, my purples. They all sit here until I'm done with this picture. And they might sit there during another picture. I have left the same pencil sitting out in groups like this for three, maybe four pictures. Well, now that's me too, Dee Dee. I think keeping a journal or some kind of notebook or something with the color combinations recorded would make things easier, but I'm not going to do that. Now, what I'm thinking, guys, because I already have some browns picked out, I'm going to come down here where these camels are. I think I'm going to do these. I would agree with that, Dee Dee. I am getting a little more comfortable with the choosing of colors, yes. Yes, I have That's why I said maybe it might be something I should be doing. I know it would be a good idea. I've seen a lot of other people talk about journaling the colors and stuff so they can keep track of what works, what doesn't work, and stuff like that. But if it involves writing stuff down, I'm probably not doing it. Well, thank you, Dee Dee. All right, now I think I got some browns here that I used on the neck of my violin. And I think we can use those same colors will work for a camel. We don't have a lot of space to work with. Now, I'm going to color the camels. If the camels come out decent, then I'll tell you what colors I use to color it. And now, one thing I've got to do here, I do need to, I swatch these over. I do swatch, guys. I got to get it back on camera. Wow, oh yeah, I'm way down here at the bottom, aren't I? I forgot I tipped my camera to where I can't see what I'm doing, but I do swatch. And now I got to make sure I got these in the right order. I may not even use that one. Okay. I get them in the wrong order. I got to figure out. Let me see. That looks a little bit yellowish. I think maybe I'll see if I can make it a little bit more of a brown. Almost too orange. Hopefully this guy's not going to end up looking orange when it's done. But it is an orangey colored pencil. But we're going to put some darker color on top of it. Now see, one of these colors, they come out kind of a yellowy looking color, but if you look here at the cores, they all look brown. None of them look like they have a yellow tint, but they come out yellow. So sometimes that makes it really hard picking colors because the color you're going to get on the paper doesn't look brown. It's not brown, it's more yellow. I'm just throwing some different colors in here right now just to see how this is going to work out. I'm not convinced. Not yet. Now we'll throw some of the darker in here. I'm thinking I may end up having to grab even maybe another brown so I can make these camels look a little bit darker. I think that's a little bit too orangey looking. But for now, we'll use it. I'm not putting very much pressure on here either. Very light. That is kind of what I was hoping for, Sherry, since it's out in the sun. I think it needs to be a little bit darker. I'm going to see if I can't find a darker brown, maybe just for the shadows or something. We'll see what happens. But I do think it needs to be darkened down just a little bit. Yeah, my eyes are watering. Oh, that's not too bad. I think that's going to be okay like that. Now let me figure out what I'm going to do for the saddles. Well, let me see. I think I'm going to do one saddle with some blue. Let me see. What do I have here? Well, blue. Blue. And then I want to use like a light blue also. So maybe cayenne. Now I just picked those two colors, but I actually have no idea what those two colors will look like beside one another. We'll find out here in a second. And then I'll just take my blender. That'll be a nice shadow color right there. And I just want to see what this color looks like. Yeah, I can make that work. All right. So let's see, I'm going to make this shadow blue, or this saddle, not shadow. This saddle is going to be a blue color. Just a little bit of shading down here. We'll use the blending pencil to blend that down a little bit. Just a little bit of indication of some light hitting the top of that. And then I'm going to use a blender and just blend it down. Blend it right back, blend the light right back into the dark, just like that. And then we'll hit this little guy right here too. Blend him back down. I do like the way the blender makes everything a little bit brighter, it seems like. I got out of the habit of using this pencil. I'm glad I kind of thought of it the other day to go back, because it does make it look better. Okay, so that takes care of that blue. I'm going to leave these two blues out, I think. I'm not sure if there might be something else I want to use blue for. I could just put those over here. Okay. Now I need to find something different for the other saddle. I don't want to make it blue. Oh no, thunderstorms. Let me see, what do I want to do? Oh, I ordered me a pencil case. I should have it. I think Friday, so I can put these pencils in a case instead of have them in the trays. Because I've already knocked one of these trays off of my table a few months back. Pencils went everywhere, so I don't like having them out in these trays like this. But for the time being, I don't have much choice. Let's see. I'm trying to think about what color I want to do this other saddle with. I think I'm going to do some greens. So now we'll look and see if I can find a green. Here's a green. Well, I do already have some greens that I used on the other picture on the violin page. Let's see, do I like any? I don't really want to use those colors. It's a little too bright for a saddle. So let me see if I can find a couple of other colors here. Maybe something like this. Let's see what we can do with this right here. Okay, so I have aquamarine, and clover green, and that's too similar, so that's not a good highlight color. Let's see. What if I put this one? That's kind of an olive. I don't really want that. Let's look. Yeah, this will be okay. It's a very tiny little area anyway. So now this is a very good example because these colors are not the most perfect combination, but because it's such a tiny little area, it's going to work out. But that doesn't mean I want other people using these colors. Because they can come up with something a little bit better on their own, more than likely. I can't hardly see that. My eyes are starting to water. It's making everything a little bit blurry. We just get the suggestion of some color in here. A little bit of light shining off of the top. A little reflection. All right, now we have two desert camels. All right, now I do not know where I'm going to head next. I'm going to zoom back out. Uh, Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and work on wax. See if I can. I don't know what I'm going to do on these buildings yet. Yeah, I think maybe I'll do this outside candle. Because you guys saw it. It took me 2 hours to do the first one. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I try to kind of think about, well, what kind of materials would they have had to work with, but that really doesn't matter. Oh, something I was wanting to ask you guys. Do you guys wear Crocs? Yeah, I got the pillars part. Do you guys wear Crocs? The shoes, Crocs? Hey, Thomas, good morning. How are you, Thomas? I have never worn Crocs before, but I bought some. Very different than wearing flip flops, that's for sure. And that's what I normally wear. But I thought I would try something different. I like the Crocs, but I'm going to definitely have to get used to them. Fernanda, hi, how are you? Let me zoom out for a minute so Thomas and Fernanda can see where we're at and what we're doing. We'll zoom back out. Don't have a lot done on this page so far. I'm doing very good, thank you. And then yesterday, I did a little bit on this page over here, and I just colored that violin on that page. And that brings us up to speed from the last live stream. Hey, that's a very good idea, Thomas. Very good idea. All right, now we'll zoom back in over here. I just wanted to give Thomas and Fernanda, just so they could see what we've been doing. Trying to get my camera repositioned. Sorry, guys. Moving around a lot. Actually, that's zoomed in a little more than I needed. Maybe about like that. Oh, okay. Well, it didn't take you long to figure your flames out, did it? Now, this is not the technique I used on the other candle wax, guys. On the other one, I just added the highlights where I thought I was going to want them, but sometimes I do think it's better just to cover the entire thing with the highlight color, and then it can just peek through wherever it really wants to. I think that's what Bob Ross would tell me. It can live wherever it wants to. This is in World of Worlds. Yep, it can live wherever it wants to. I always hear Bob Ross in my head tell me, make a decision. Just make a decision. It's fine. Make a decision. Now I'm going to come back with the darker color, the darkest, and I will put in some shadow, and then we will come back with the lighter colors. But now I want to know where my shadows are going to be. Start figuring some of that out. Okay, I'll show you, Fernanda. Let's zoom out. We'll zoom back out here. Whoops. Fernanda, this is Kerby Rosanes, World of Color. It's real hard for me to work the zoom on this camera, guys. But this is the book that we're in, World of Color. And this book is a compilation . This is a compilation of his World series. So this picture that we're coloring on is also in World of Worlds. As far as the pencils that we're using today on this picture, I will show you. 1 second, Thomas. I have to carefully move all these trays around so I don't end up with them in my floor. We are using these pencils. Now they do have the wider core, the thicker core, the 3.8. But interestingly enough, now I mentioned this the other day, when I bought these pencils, I bought these pencils because Amazon advertised these pencils as oil-based pencils. And I did not have any oil-based pencils. I had what I believe to be all wax-based. So no place on the tin for these pencils does it say that they're oil-based. So my original set of pencils, well, my original set was the Crayola. And then I bought the Color 300 pencil set. So I got to reading on the tin on that set of pencils, and it said they're oil-based. I did not know that. So apparently I've been using oil. I guess all Color pencils are oil-based. I haven't actually looked it up on the internet yet to see if I can find out. So anyway, we're using the Color. And I ordered me a pencil case to put these pencils in. I should have it Friday. I don't like them in these trays. And what I just did is a very good example because these trays are so flimsy. Trying to move them around, my pencils pop out. So I don't like having these trays. Okay. Let's see, that's a little bit too zoomed in. Maybe about like that's going to be better. Something like that. All right, let's see here. I always have to try to think about, well, what order am I supposed to have my pencils in here from light to dark or dark to light? Okay, so we were working on shadows. A little bit of shading going on in here. And I am following Kerby's line work for the suggested shadows. Uh, we might be able to do that here in a few minutes, Dee Dee. I can get my Prismacolors out, but we'll have to go through it pencil by pencil because I'll just have to hunt for those colors. I know I do use colors that, to me, look exactly the same. I have not yet decided, Fernanda, if I'm going to color all this or not. I might end up doing that though, because I think all my other Kerby Rosanes pictures, I have actually colored the entire page. So I'll probably do it with some light blues. I'm not real good on covering big areas, big open areas, so we'll just have to see how it goes. Now we're just going to start working some of our other colors in here, kind of lightly, until I kind of figure out what I'm doing. Like I said, it's a whole lot different coloring with this wrist support because I can't feel things. I don't have the same maneuverability. Now I can tell you that coloring and blending with purples has never been one of my purples is a hard color for me. My favorite color, but a hard color for me to color with. Because even like this purple right here, it don't even want to go on the paper hardly. We'll definitely have to use the blending pencil on this one. And now we'll come back over with our highlight color just to catch the edges. Can you guys see how much of that white is still showing through this? That's why I got to use the blender, the blending pencil. Now let's see. Oh, okay. I got most of it. That blending pencil made it look better. Yeah, just a little bit of highlight color here and there. That's not bad. That is what I do a lot of times too, Thomas. Up until Monday, I had not used my blending pencil for a while. But I can say that taking that blending pencil over it makes it brighter. I think that worked out pretty good. So I'm just going to follow the same. That's how I've done. Like I said, this is the first picture I actually used a blending pencil on in a while now. I do like the effect that it has though, because it does make it brighter, the whole thing. Now I think pretty much everybody else is doing Sherry, you and Dee Dee are doing your whoops. What the heck? I don't have my camera right. I didn't realize that. I didn't move my camera. Dee Dee, Sherry, you guys are doing your candle waxes in different colors, right? Am I the only one that's doing all the candles with the same color? Yeah, I thought I remember you talking about doing yours in different colors, Sherry. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I always think it's interesting to see the different ways people color the same picture. Every time I look at other people's pictures, I'm like, well, why didn't I think of that? Are you outside, Dee? Are you outside by your fire pit? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Now I'm just trying to get some of this highlight color spread around. And as far as what I'm doing here, guys, you don't really have to do this, that's for sure. You can just put the highlight wherever you want it, but I kind of like to just cover the whole picture. Well, not the whole picture, but the whole area, just so the highlight can pop through wherever it wants to actually. All right, now we'll go back to the shadow color. You can really see all that white coming through once I start putting this darker color on. And I'm kind of using varying amounts of pressure for the shadow here, guys, because I do want to blend it down just a little bit on the edges. We want the dark, but not on the edges. We want to let it lighten up just a little bit. Now let's see. Deco yellow and artichoke. I think I've used both of those colors before, but not as a combination that I can recall. Now you guys might hear the lawnmower. There are yard people are outside. I can hear the lawnmower out there. Now I'm just going over and over with the different pencils, get a little bit of different colors in different spots. All right, now I'm going to use the blending pencil, but before I do, I'm going to use my eraser. And got outside the line just a little bit right there. And I do like these erasers because they're flexible, so I can actually I have more control. Okay, now I'm going to use the blender again. My vision is getting so blurry. I can't hardly see. Now, Thomas, if you're still here, when I use one of these blending pencils, I'm using it very, very lightly. Just very lightly, just to move some of that color around, because it moves it around very, very easily. And I don't know if there's a difference, like in the brand of maybe like blending pencils. I'm using Derwent. Mine are Derwent. I don't know if it really matters what brand you're using. And then I may have to come back over and even add a little bit more color after it's all blended out with the pencil. Do you really? Let me see here. Do I have one? I might. What is this? No, that's a Derwent burnisher. I thought I had a Prismacolor. Prismacolor. Uh, I think this is a blender. Yeah, colorless. Well, it doesn't say blender. Well, I've already blended all these now, so I will try my. I don't think I've even used the Prismacolor blender yet, so I will. I will use that maybe on the next one and see what I think about it. I haven't tried that one yet. Now I'm just going to add a little bit more color here in a couple of spots. And then I'll hit it with the blender again. I need just a little bit more color in a couple of places here. Okay. I could tell, I can feel what you're talking about in my Derwent, that it's kind of rough. Sorry about my arm there. All right. I can feel it, I can tell a difference already. I can tell a difference between using my Derwent and my Prismacolor. The Prismacolor does feel smoother, and the Derwent feels a little more scratchy. Now see, my mind would say that the more scratchy one is a better blender, but that doesn't make it so. That's just what my brain would tell me. But I can tell, I can feel a difference, yes. All right. Well, there's some candle waxes done. Now, well, thank you, Sherry. I think I had thought I might be able to do what Dee Dee's doing, because Dee Dee's using like the same colors, but different appearances with those same colors. And I had thought about seeing if I could accomplish something similar, but I think eventually I'll be able to do that, but I'm happy with everything kind of looking the same right there. I was trying to think in my mind, well, what colors of dye would they actually have access to? Of course, it's a fantasy world. They can have access to any color they want, but I was trying to think of like ancient days. They would be limited in their colors. because they would be using all plant-based dyes. Now, what's going to be fun are these little tiny people. Wow. All right, let's see. Zoom back out. You've made a decision for the people. I can see that the people are going to be tough, because they got little tiny arms. How are we supposed to get a pencil core sharp enough just to be able to do those little teeny tiny arms? Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. They're just going to eliminate them. That's one way to handle them. Well, that might ought to be something I consider. Most of them are in shadow, so they would be easy to cover up with the right colors and everything. Wow, okay, well, I don't even know what color I'm going to use on anything else. I'll just have to consider options. Now let's see, what color is this? Oh, I don't want that. I mean, I did want that until I looked at what color it was. Let me see here. What is this? Oh, okay. Sherry. I just sharpened a warm yellow. I'm going to use that for the wicks, the candle wick. And that's pretty much going to just blend right in with what's already happening with these yellows and oranges, it looks like. Not really good. I thought it would look a little different, but it's okay. We'll let it be that color. Okay, Thomas. Now let's see. I want to get maybe something a little bit darker, dark brownish. And I'm going to put just a touch of this darker brown in here too, because I do want the wick to look a little bit different than the candle itself. Yeah, that's better. I don't know how well that actually shows up on camera, but yeah, I'm more happy with this darker color. I wanted the wick to look different than the rest of it. The flame, I didn't want the wick and the flame to be the same color. Yeah, that's better. All right. Now, I do not have any other colors picked out for anything. I got to figure out what all the stonework is going to be. These columns, I'm not sure. I do know that a lot of this on the inside here is just is a that exact shape because this is built right into the mountains. So all this is all basically the same colors because this is all carved right out of here. And I suspect there's going to be a lot of gray. Some grays. I don't think I have like a lot of light colored browns like tan and stuff like that. Not in this set of pencils. So I really have no clue what I'm going to do beyond this point at the moment. But I think that's all I'm going to do for today, guys. Move my camera just a little bit. Whoops, not that much. That's a pretty good start, I think. But I do believe I'm just going to leave it sit just like it is for now. I got to figure out other colors and stuff. Thank you, Dee Dee. I'm liking it. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have on yours, too. So I hope everybody has a great day. Thomas, Sherry, Dee Dee, Fernanda, if you're still in here. Now, let me check on something right quick, guys. Everybody hang out just for another second. Don't leave. Don't leave yet. Nobody leave just yet. I just want to show you a picture. Does anybody have access to this picture? This is a Kerby Rosanes. And this book is the Mythic Animals. I don't know what other book this one would be in. I know this is also a couple. You have this one, Sherry? This is the picture that Danielle picked out. So we will be working on this picture in the future, okay? I just wanted to see if you guys had access to this picture also. Have you colored this one yet, Sherry? Thomas, that was from Kerby Rosanes' Mythic Animals. Thomas. No, that picture, Dee Dee, is not in World of Color, and I don't know which book. Sherry, what book do you have that in? Mine is in Mythic Animals because Mythic Animals is also a compilation book. Wonder Morphia, okay. But anyway, that page is going to be in the future. Okay, I've not heard of that particular book, Thomas, but it might be in there. I'm not real sure. I have two of his books, and they're both compilation books. Anyway, that's one of the pages I'll be doing later on. We'll be doing we'll be doing that page down the road a little bit. That's the page that Danielle picked out. But I kind of need for her to start participating in chat. Yeah, that's okay, Dee Dee. If you don't have access to it, you don't have access to it. And you can color on something else while we're coloring on that, because I'm just going to be doing it sitting here anyway. So it's all the same. But like I was saying, that's a picture that Danielle sent me. So I am going to do that picture. I told her I would. But I'm not really going to consider it like a color along with her unless she starts like attending. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to do that kind of stuff. So we'll see how it goes, but we'll be doing it anyway. Actually, Dee Dee, I need to figure out a book that you and I both have, so you can pick out a page for us to do. So I don't know how we're going to do that exactly, but we'll figure it out, okay? You too, Thomas, do you color currently? I need you guys to email me. Dee Dee, email me well, gosh, I bought that Dr. Seuss book. Oh my goodness. All right, Thomas, I need for you to email me a picture of a book cover and a page that you would like to color with me. And I'll let you pick it. But I need you to email me information so I can get the same book. And the same thing with you, Dee Dee. I mean, we could try a Dr. Seuss, but I'm kind of scared of that. Well, Dee Dee, I'm going to let you make the choice. Thomas, if you look on the description page for this community, the email address is there. I know, I bought that Dr. Seuss book. It's just sitting over there. It's actually looking at me right now, you know. Dee Dee, let's do a Dr. Seuss. You pick the page. Oh gosh, I can't believe I said that. You send me a picture of whatever page in the Dr. Seuss book, Dee Dee. And we'll add it to the list. Oh my gosh. See, now I was just telling you guys, I see videos about people they have their planners, their monthly coloring planners. And I was thinking to myself, oh, I can't imagine I'd ever need a planner so I could plan ahead what I was going to be coloring. Here I am. I'm already about 3, 4, 5 pages down the road. Oh well. Yeah, I know. I looked through that book, and I got to tell you, there wasn't any one page I said, "Oh, I think maybe I could color this page." No, I was scared of all of them. Let me see here. Sorry about my arm, guys. I'm going to type something in chat for Thomas. That's for Thomas. Now, Thomas, you let me know when you've got that recorded, okay? I'm not going to end chat or anything like that. I want to make sure you have time to get that recorded. And that is the channel email. So Thomas, you let me know when you've got that recorded. We're going to stay here. I want to make sure you get that recorded. Oh, speaking of that, okay, Thomas, I figured that would be the easiest way for you to be able to record it if I just put it in text right there for you instead of me orating it and you trying to record it that way. So now that you mentioned a character in a coloring book, this guy right here, reminds me of me about 30 years ago, 25, 30 years ago, because I had long hair, guns, abs, and a purple violin. Okay, guys, that is going to wrap it up. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you got for me, Thomas. So have a good day, everybody. Okay, Dee Dee. Yeah, actually, I do think I feel pretty good today, quite frankly. So maybe that medication is going to help me. All right, everybody. I will see you on Friday. Until then, God bless. Oh, by the way, Sherry, I did see your final goodbye on Monday. Just as I was clicking to close the room, it flashed up there. So I did see that, yes. All right, everybody. God bless.